Amelia Bedelia Means Business by Herman Parish. Pictures by Lynn. Chapter 6. You're Fired. Amelia Bedelia was glad she had to walk through the park to get home. Walking by the trees and flowers helped her think. What was she going to tell her mom and dad? Her very first job had lasted less than an hour. They might not feel so proud of her now. Amelia Bedelia spied a big bed of flowers. I know, she said to herself. I'll bring Mom some flowers. Then she won't be mad at me. Amelia Bedelia had seen that work for her father when her mom was upset with him. It was worth a try now. She picked a bunch of flowers in different colors and surrounded them with a circle of daisies. Daisies were her mom's favorite. Hers, too. She had just finished making the bouquet when a policeman walked up. Little girl, he said, where did you get all those flowers? Right here, said Amelia Bedelia. I didn't leave many, but there are still enough for you. The policeman looked where she had pointed. You've cleaned out the entire flower bed, he said. No, I didn't, said Amelia Bedelia. It's still very dirty. The policeman shook his head. You can't pick flowers in the park. They're for everyone who lives here to enjoy. I live here, said Amelia Bedelia. So does my mom. I picked these for her. You can't do that, said the policeman. In fact, you shouldn't even be standing here. Can you read that? He pointed at a sign stuck in the lawn. It says, keep off the grass, said Amelia Bedelia. That means you, said the policeman. Amelia Bedelia looked at her feet, then she looked at the policeman's feet. What about you? She asked. You're standing on the grass, too. The policeman looked annoyed. Are you talking back to me? He asked sternly. Amelia Bedelia wasn't sure what to do. She wanted to answer him, but she'd have to talk back to do it. Finally, she said, yes, but you started talking to me first, so I talked back to you. Then you talked back to me, and I talked back to you, so the policeman blew his whistle. Enough, he said. I'll let you off with a warning this time. Now take those flowers home to your mother. I promise I will, said Amelia Bedelia, as she waved goodbye. Thanks. Amelia Bedelia walked slowly down the path. As soon as the policeman was out of sight, she sat down on a park bench to rest for a minute. A woman was sitting at the other end of the bench with her dog. She didn't look very happy. In fact, she looked very sad. What lovely flowers, she said to Amelia Bedelia. I'd like to give them to you, said Amelia Bedelia, to cheer you up, but I just promised to take them to my mom. How sweet of you, said the woman. Then she blew her nose. Sorry if I look upset. My boss just gave me a pink slip. Sounds pretty, said Amelia Bedelia. Pretty, she said. It wasn't pretty at all. That's too bad, said Amelia Bedelia. Maybe pink isn't your color. My mom likes white slips with lacy stuff at the top. A curious look came over the woman's face. Then she burst out laughing and kept on laughing until tears streamed down her cheeks. Thank you, she said. I needed a good laugh today. My name is Diana. What's yours? I'm Amelia Bedelia. Meet Buster, said Diana. Her dog held up its paw for Amelia Bedelia to shake. Wow, said Amelia Bedelia. Buster has a firm paw shake. Buster is the best, said Diana. He doesn't care that I was just let go for my job. Me too, said Amelia Bedelia. Then she told Diana what had happened at Pete's Diner. Diana laughed even harder when she heard about stepping on the pie. We've got a lot in common, said Diana. We've both been fired. Amelia Bedelia was amazed to learn that being let go was the same as being fired. It reminded her that she still had to go home and tell her parents what had happened at Pete's. She got up to leave. Hey, Diana, maybe you should start your own business, she said. Diana nodded. I think you're right, she said. I'd never fire myself. I would be fireproof. If you're fireproof, said Amelia Bedelia, you'll never get burned. Right you are, said Diana. Amelia Bedelia scratched Buster behind the ears and said goodbye to Diana, but she didn't get far. Excuse me, miss. Excuse me. A man was waving at her. Miss, he said, I'm meeting someone here for the first time. Well, it's a date. I told her I'd be carrying a bouquet. Would you please sell me yours? It's for my mom, said Amelia Bedelia. I'll pay you $10, he said. Amelia Bedelia shook her head. No, I promised. How about $20, he asked. $20? Here you go, she said, handing him the bouquet of flowers. Thanks, he said, handing her a crisp $20 bill. $20. Amelia Bedelia waved to Diana, was on her way once again. But then she heard a familiar voice. She peeked over her shoulder. The policeman had stopped the man with the bouquet. Amelia Bedelia began to walk faster. Excuse me, sir, said the policeman. Those flowers look suspiciously like the ones we grow in the park. Where did you get them? I just bought them, he heard the man answer, from a sweet little girl. Amelia Bedelia began to trot. "What, little girl?" asked the policeman. Amelia Bedelia began to run. She darted through the park gates, running as fast as she could. She flew by a sign that said "Slow Children." "I'm not having much luck with signs today," she thought, as she raced home. By the time she got to her house, Amelia Bedelia was out of breath. Her parents did not seem surprised to see her. "We got a call from Pete," said Amelia Bedelia's father. "Next time, call us and we'll come get you." "There won't be a next time," said Amelia Bedelia. "Oh, sweetie," her mom said. "It was a good try." "What did you learn from your first job?" asked her father. "I learned that the customer is always right," said Amelia Bedelia. "That's what they say," said the father. "Did you learn anything else?" asked her mother. "Yes," said Amelia Bedelia. "I learned that sometimes the customer is crazy." Amelia Bedelia's parents smiled. They stopped when they saw Amelia Bedelia's lower lip tremble. "It's no fun getting fired," sobbed Amelia Bedelia. "No, I'll never get that bike." Her parents hugged her and hoisted her up into their arms. "Don't worry," they said. "We have an idea." Chapter 7. The Lemonade Sit. "You know," said Amelia Bedelia's father, "your mom and I think you should start your own business. And there is one business that any kid can start." "What?" said Amelia Bedelia. "A lemonade stand," said her dad. "Lemonade what?" said Amelia Bedelia. "Stand," said her dad. "Stand," she said. "Stand what?" "Lemonade," said her dad. "Sure," said Amelia Bedelia. "I can stand lemonade. I love lemonade." Her father rolled his eyes and said, "I know you love lemonade, sweetie. That's why you should make a stand for it." "How come?" said Amelia Bedelia. "Is someone trying to get rid of lemonade?" Amelia Bedelia's dad's face began to turn red. "Of course not," he said. "You could run a stand." Amelia Bedelia looked bewildered. "Dad," she said, "what do you want me to do, run or stand?" "Stand," yelled her dad. "Stand, stand!" Amelia Bedelia jumped to her feet. Okay, she said. I'm standing. Now her dad's face was turning even redder. "No," he said, "not you. Your customer stand. You can sit." "Thank you," said Amelia Bedelia. She sat back down in her chair. "Good idea," said her dad. "I think I need to sit down, too." Amelia Bedelia's mother had been in the kitchen listening to them talk while she finished up. She was carrying a cup of coffee as she came into the living room. She sat down on the arm of her husband's chair. "Amelia Bedelia," she said, "remember last summer we made fresh lemonade together?" "It was delicious," said Amelia Bedelia. "And easy," said her mother. "Do you remember how we made it? You squeeze juice out of a lemon, mix it with cool water, add sugar until it tastes good, then throw in a couple of ice cubes." "Bravo," said her mother. "Then what?" Amelia Bedelia shrugged and said, "That's easy. You drink it." "Or," said her mother, "you could sell it. What if you set up a table and made fresh lemonade? Thirsty people would stand in line to drink it." "You know," said Amelia Bedelia, "that sounds like what Dad was trying to say." "Thank you," said Amelia Bedelia's father. Then he turned to his wife and said, "And thank you, darling. I couldn't have said it better myself." Amelia Bedelia bought 50 bags of lemons on sale. She used the money she'd saved from her last birthday, her tip from Pete's Diner, plus the $20 she got for her bouquet. Her dad helped her build a stand that was easy to set up and take down. "That way," he said, "you can put it up wherever you get the most customers." "Have you thought of a name for yourself?" asked her mom. "My name is Amelia Bedelia," she said. "That's the name you guys gave me." "I meant," said her mom, "a name for your business. Something catchy to get people's attention." "Yes," said her dad. "Think big." "How can I?" said Amelia Bedelia. "My brain is just one size." "Maybe you should advertise," said her mom. "If people hear how good your lemonade is, they'll want to try it." "Advertise," said Amelia Bedelia. "Like the commercials on TV for Wild Bill's Autorama?" "Sort of," said her dad, "but not so terrible." Everybody knew about Wild Bill's Autorama. Bill owned a car dealership right downtown. He wore a white 10-gallon cowboy hat. In his TV ads, he shouted over and over that to get the best price, you had to buy your new car from Wild Bill's Autorama, the home of a sweet deal. Suddenly, Amelia Bedelia had a great idea. She remembered last summer when her parents had dragged her along to Wild Bill's to look at new cars with them. It was boring and hot. She could really have used a break. If she set up her stand near Wild Bill's Autorama, plenty of thirsty customers would line up for her lemonade when they were tired of looking at cars. Amelia Bedelia hopped on her awful, embarrassing piece of junk bike and rode down to Wild Bill's Autorama. She found the ideal spot for her stand, right near the entrance. Perfect. This was meant to be. She pedaled home as fast as she could. As she turned into her driveway, a great name for her business popped into her head. Hooray! Mom, yelled Amelia Bedelia. Do you have any yellow paint left over from when you painted the kitchen? I need to make my sign. Sure, sweetie, said her mom. She also gave Amelia Bedelia brushes and an old bedsheet. Amelia Bedelia spread the sheet out on the driveway and went to work. Her dad had told her to think big, so she drew a lemon as large as the kitchen table and outlined it with a black marker. She was in the middle of writing the name for her business right on top of the bottom when her mom and dad came out to peek at what she was doing. Mom, Dad, stop! Hollered Amelia Bedelia. Don't look. I want you to be surprised. They certainly were. So was Wild Bill, and so were the reporters from the TV Action News team, as well as everyone in town. And that is the end of Chapter 7 and what I'll be reading today. Thank you all for joining me. I'm very excited for this book. I love Amelia Bedelia, and yeah. So I will see you guys for the next chapter or story.